What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Son? And this one's interesting. This is for the last 3 months. So we are doing what I got in February, what I got in March, and what I got in April. But it's going to be one of the shorter ones because I didn't get much in those 3 entire months. I really didn't buy a whole lot because of budget reasons and all kinds of stuff. However, I did pick up, as usual, some pretty special stuff because I usually keep my eye out on the really good stuff from the boutique labels that are coming out. And of course, I still got my eye out on a lot of other things in the similar vein that are coming out. Either are out right now or are coming out in the future. But lo and behold, I have maybe 15 titles, maybe a little more, but not much more. But regardless, let's get right into them. So starting off with Scream Factory, a little bit of Hammer stuff. Starting off with Paranoiac. I already reviewed this film. It's on the channel, so it's doing fairly well, and it's up in full detail if you want to go check that out. I really enjoyed this film. This is an earlier Hammer film, so it's 1963, glorious black and white. You got Oliver Reed, which, to be honest, I haven't really been like the biggest expertise on Oliver Reed. I haven't seen a slew of his films or anything like that, but I definitely know how famous he is and how great of an actor he is and why he's so famous as well, with controversies and all that kind of stuff. A very, very interesting guy from what I've read up on, and lots to say about the guy for sure, and lots to say about Paranoiac. This film is a blast throughout. It's got huge Psycho vibes. Obviously not the same story, we're not dealing with anything plot-wise the same, but I'm talking about the whole atmosphere and the way it makes you feel. It's definitely very present in that one. Next, from Scream Factory, again, we got another Hammer film, which I've never seen before. This is Vampire Lovers. Still need to see it, so I don't even think I opened the thing yet. So, still in its plastic. And I saw the trailer, I was sold. And it's a collector's edition with the slipcover. You gotta pick that up. I was gonna say gotta put my hands on it, but sounds a little weird. Had to pick that one up for sure. And I do want to continue with the Hammer horror series that I did like quite a few months ago, probably last year already. But did Paranoiac, plan on doing Vampire Lovers real soon, and as many other Hammer horror films I can get a hold of, basically. This is a really low-budget film I discovered through Tubi and through some filmmakers that I chat with on Facebook and social media. And this is one I discovered called Awkward Thanksgiving, and I put it on my Tubi list to be watched, and I finally got around to it. The premise sounded great. I love independent and low-budget cinema that's done well, and I'm telling you, for a low-budget piece of work, this is like utilized beautifully. I had just discovered the director from this film, Henri Couto, and I sent him a message and told him how much I appreciated his film and supported the 3-disc Blu-ray. So anybody who's interested in the film on Tubi, this 3-disc Blu-ray is only $15 American. Cannot beat that for 3 discs. It comes with a feature-length documentary on the making of the film. If I could open up this book. I don't even know if it... How the hell does this thing work? There you go. There's a documentary back there. And it's like an hour and a half, and it goes through the entire detail of the production design of the film. And it's just a bunch of friends getting together and making a film. That's exactly how it feels. The cast is great. When I say they utilized it perfectly, like they took advantage of their sets and their what they had to work with, and they just made a really great, hilarious film where you can tell that every cast member was there to put their heart and soul into it and have a good time. So it didn't even seem like work to them when you watch the documentary and behind the scenes. And even when you watch the movie, everybody just seems so natural in what they do. So I had a really good time with Awkward Thanksgiving. And it's free on Tubi if you want to check it out before you buy it. I really recommend it. So go check that out and go support Henri Couto. Big Bad Wolves. This is a Hebrew film, which I've never seen a Hebrew film. Or, sorry, this is an Israeli film, which I've never seen an Israeli film, and it's in Hebrew, which I've never seen a film spoken in Hebrew, honestly. So that was really interesting. Especially a horror, like Tarantino style Hebrew film, or Israeli film, I should say, because it takes place in Israel, and is spoken in Hebrew. So both of those things are very unique to me. So I was extremely interested in checking this out. And this is very dark comedy, but like it's, I don't know, it's, I don't want to say too much without spoiling things, but first of all, it has nothing to do with wolves. So if you think you're getting into a werewolf movie, you're not. This has to do with more crime and a bunch of people basically holding this guy hostage, thinking he's guilty of a very, very severe and sick crime, and figuring out what they're going to do with him. But the whole story, you're kind of going through it wondering if he's like actually innocent or if he's legitimately guilty, because these guys are ready to kill him and are completely convinced, strangely, and I say strangely because there's not like the biggest evidence that it's actually him, but they're already like, they got their weapons drawn. They're ready to like tackle him down and like basically torture the fuck out of him. And yeah, it's just it's a guessing movie. It's kind of like, did he do it, did he not do it? And it's really violent and it's really suspenseful. There's a lot of dialogue. I think that's why Quentin Tarantino called it the best film of the year, because it has his long takes and long shots that he likes, and a lot of dialogue through the characters. So I think he took a big interest into that, and I really had a great time with the film. I'm not going to say it's perfect. The ending is a little bit obscure again, which it's supposed to be, but for a film like this where it leaves you completely guessing all the way, and then you're still guessing after the credits, it's kind of like, could you give me like a little hint more? But it is what it is. It's still a great film and a well-produced piece of cinema. I really liked it. The sequel to 30 Days of Night, this is Dark Days. This is one that I picked up real cheap because I love 30 Days of Night and I love vampire films, and I think you can never go wrong with a vampire film. Unfortunately, I can never understand how you can make a film in the vein of like vampires, werewolves, something horror kind of thing, and make it boring. I just don't see how you could do that. And this is one of those films that suffered through that. It has great gore, and the acting is not that great, but you're really not there for the acting. But it has great gore and great makeup and great, you know, the characters look great. You got a big promise there, and then the story's just like, come on, it's like it drags kind of thing. And I'm not going to say it's horrible, but I think I gave it like 1.5 out of 5. You know, for entertainment value, I needed more. In a film called 30 Days of Night, I needed more entertainment. It's a film that looks better than the quality is in the story and plot and screenwriting sense of things, but it is what it is. Here's a movie that I watched a long time ago and absolutely dreaded. Hated it. Found it boring as fuck. I revisited it because I love Donnie Darko, and I had to watch this one again, obviously, and maybe have a double review series with Donnie Darko and S. Darko. So I gave this one another shot. I liked it better than the last time. Still confusing as shit. Still makes no sense. That doesn't bother me though, because that actually gives a film rewatch value, because I love a film that I don't get the first time or the second time or the third time or even the fourth or fifth time. And it gives me a reason to keep watching it and figure things out and look at things in the background and maybe piece things together more. Like, I love puzzle piece films that require multiple watches. No Country for Old Men is a perfect example. It's one of those films that it's not made to be watched once kind of thing. So I can appreciate that with this film. And you also got DeVay Chase, who, I mean, the film's, if it's just looking at DeVay Chase, it's 5 stars. Anything she's in, like, she could be in the worst movie ever, but she has this cuteness to her, and gorgeous, obviously, and just like these facial expressions and mannerisms that she's so natural at, that just a movie looking at DeVay Chase is already worth it. But so that's a positive for S. Darko, and it's a trippy story. I like the music in it. I like the music choices that they had. The other star that played with DeVay Chase, she's okay. She wasn't as interesting as DeVay Chase was, and I mean her character, not the actress herself. The actress did great, but I'm talking about the character themselves in the movie. Was definitely not as interesting as DeVay Chase, and the direction that this film takes involves the characters having more screen time than the other in certain parts. So you'll have like focus on one, and then one will disappear for reasons. I can't get it into spoilers, but then you'll focus just on another, and then that other one will come back, and then the other one will go away for reasons again, and it swaps back and forth, and it felt like, you know, one character was like, okay, you're really intrigued, and then the other character, when they came back, it's like, okay, can we just get through this, because I was really intrigued in the other one. So it's kind of one of those movies, but the visual effects are nowhere close to as good as Donnie Darko. Like the special effects, the CGI. This is a CGI fest, okay? If you hate seeing like completely fake green screen in the background where like it's me and then the whole background is clearly fake, this is filled with that. So if that bugs you, it's gonna bug you in S. Darko. But other than that, I didn't mind it a whole lot. Like I said, I think I gave it a 2.5 just because, one, DeVay Chase, 2, it's a trippy story and it's a puzzle piece movie, which I love, and 3, it's just the entertainment value was met for me, so I can appreciate it for those reasons alone, even though it doesn't even hold a candle to Donnie Darko. It's not meant to. They even call it a Donnie Darko tale, so it's kind of like a spin-off almost kind of thing. A film that I'd never heard of, never seen, found for $3, I'm pretty sure, like 3 or 4, no more than 4. I think it was $3 though. Surveillance. This is Jennifer Lynch, who is, excuse me, I don't know if she is David Lynch's daughter or sister, so I have to look that up. I didn't look that up, but Jennifer Lynch directed this film. This stars Bill Pullman and Julia Ormond and Pell James. I actually only recognized Bill Pullman in this film outside of, like, of all the actors and actresses, I only recognize Bill Pullman. He's great. He's in so much. Independence Day. He's in a favorite wine movie of mine, Bottle Shock. And he's in David Lynch's Lost Highway, right? And yeah, it's great. Michael Ironside is in here. Wow. I gotta think who the hell he played. Michael Ironside. I think he was one of the cops. But anyways, regardless, crazy movie, man. Crazy film. I mean, damn, does this one get dark and violent? Holy fuck, does this get violent. Like, hard to watch violent. Right in the middle, there's these things that happen, like plot-wise, where the plot comes to like a complete crescendo and like starts to make shit go down. There are some of the like most twisted, sick things happening. It's not a head trip per se, as David Lynch's films tend to be, but it's like it's more like it definitely, it's a mystery, so there's that, but it's not like, you know, Eraserhead and the things that David Lynch is known for, kind of thing. But it's got the violence, and it's got the mystery to it, and it's got the corruption like no tomorrow. So I really had a good time with Surveillance, personally. Next, we got another trilogy that I completed. This is the Annabelle Trilogy. We've got Annabelle, Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home. Annabelle Comes Home is the only one that I bought. I bought these 3 basically at the same time. And this is the only one that I hadn't seen prior, so that was a first-time watch. I loved it. Mixed reviews from everybody that I've heard from, and I really had a good time with Annabelle Comes Home. Creation is awesome, and even Annabelle is like classically awesome. I really like the 3 of them kind of equally. I think Comes Home has like that little switch better, like, of the 2. Like, it definitely concludes the trilogy really well, I think. But all three of them are really great to watch. I really hate this sticker, which won't come off. I hate peeling stickers if it's going to leave residue behind. But I guess I just have to live with that. Can't win them all, can you? Then we have Haunt. Do you have any idea how strangely long it took me to find this Blu-ray, especially at a cheap price? Because the DVD came out in Canada for a long time with a slipcover and everything, but I'm like, I want the Blu-ray, and I know the Blu-ray is out, so like it's been out for a while, so why can't I find it? And then it would pop up here and there, but like for stupid money, like sometimes $60 I'd find it for. And it just took a while for me to find this thing for like a decent ass price, and I finally did. I love this film in the vein of those films that came out, like a bunch of them at the same time. You had Bloodfest, you have Hellfest, you have the Funhouse Massacre, and then you have this Haunt, which basically is a Halloween haunt. And you have a bunch of kids going through this Halloween haunt, which is supposed to be fake, but then they're wondering if everything going on in this haunt is real. And you have this killer, or multiple ones, I should say, going around this this haunt, and it's a great independent, like, spooky Halloween film. This is a film that feels like Halloween and is bathed in it. It's great to watch during the season, the colder months. It just works really well. This film works on all levels and all cylinders when it comes to a film that really feels like the spooky season and embraces it. So you can watch it year-round and feel like Halloween, but when you watch it around Halloween, it's just fantastic. This one is from Arrow Video, and I only bought for the title and for Kim Basinger being in it. This is My Stepmother is an Alien. I only briefly watched this once. I think I put it on and I was like busy or distracted with something. I think I was on my phone for a long time. So I literally don't really remember this film much. It's definitely going to take another watch for me to really say my thoughts on it. But it seemed a little bit more goofy than I thought it was going to be. Like more like family-centric, kiddish kind of thing. But again, like it's going to take another viewing. It's PG-13, so that makes a little bit of sense. But it's definitely going to take another viewing for me to really grasp it more. So I definitely am going to give that another watch really soon. But that's My Stepmother is an Alien from the 80s. What year exactly? Does it say? Can I find it? 1988. There you go. But yeah, I gotta watch it again, and I plan on watching it again real soon. Gotta love that type of movie from the 80s is always good. Oh my god, this one, I also have a review on the channel, and I had such a good time with this film, it's not even funny. I always love my creature features, but this is one that I've never seen before, and man, this is one of the best creature features there is. The alligator practical effects completely through. When this alligator is chomping on people, you see the entire body right in its mouth, and it's just gaping and gaping on the fucking bodies. And there's great blood and great gore and great creature sequences where it's just there's enough of them. I hate monster movies and creature features that it's like 2 minutes of creature and just filler the entire fucking way through for the rest of it. And this is not like that. This really gives your alligator enough screen time to the point where the alligator's a star himself, which he should be. And it's fun. Like, I haven't seen it in 4K yet, but man, I can only imagine how it would be. Such an 80s piece of cheese. This is absolutely incredible. This is like worth every penny. This is definitely the star of the 3 months that I've been buying since February. And man, this is the best. This is the best treat that I've experienced in a long time when it comes to creature features. So I can't say enough about this film. Go watch the review on the channel. It's up there, and it's a blast. It's amazing. I had a really good time with it. Take the Lead. This stars Antonio Banderas, and I watched this film in high school. No, I was already out of high school when I watched this for the first time. I don't know, maybe I was still in high school, but I watched it a while ago, and this came out in 2005, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember liking it because, yeah, 2006. I remember liking it a lot because I love the style of like Latin dancing, ballroom dancing. It's awesome. Any kind of Latin dancing, Spanish dancing, salsa, merengue. I'm all over that shit. And then when he wants to like kind of blend it with like hip hop, because he's teaching at this like school in Harlem or something like that, somewhere in New York, where it's all these like urban kids, and they have no idea what ballroom dancing is, or they think it's like cheesy as fuck. But he uses it as a way to kind of culturally bring them together and keep them away from like crime and bullying and bad lifestyles kind of thing, and keep them out of trouble essentially. And he kind of grounds them in a way to have passion over something that's good and that's going to teach them, you know, about life way more than, you know, the drug life and you know, gang lifestyle is going to teach them. So it's really heartfelt. It's well done. I had a great time with this one. Antonio Banderas is great. All of the music is great, from the hip-hop music to the ballroom classic. Like there's not too much Spanish music in this, but definitely a lot of ballroom and waltzes and tangos and all that stuff. So the blending of the two, they do a good job if you like your blending of genres. I like what they did with that film when it comes to the music and the scores and the performances, of course. Wes Craven's Red Eye. This is one that I hadn't seen in forever. Found it for $3. Said why not? Hadn't seen it in a long time. Wes Craven I know for horror, so I know this one is definitely full thriller. There's no horror in it, but I wanted to revisit it. I had to give it another shot because, as my memory served me, I remember liking it a lot. It didn't age the best. I found this film like flew by. It's only like an hour and 25 minutes. But it flies, man. It flies. And it just almost feels like they didn't give it enough time to breathe or develop. And for the better or for worse, because it's definitely a tight-knit, quick-paced thriller. So the shortness of it and the way it goes so fast is not necessarily a bad thing. But if they gave it just 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes to breathe a little bit and to have the audience sit and experience that tension, I think it would have done it a little bit more justice. But for what it is, for a tense, nail-biting thriller, it's not badly made whatsoever, and it's a really good time. I would recommend Red Eye, especially if you could find it that cheap. And lastly, I'm going to just show these two because I'm not going to talk about them because I haven't seen them, and I'm only seeing them in October. These are 31 Days of October reviews, and I bought Blood Claws, which sounds interesting. Definitely going to be low budget on that one. And another low budget one from Wild Eye Raw and Extreme label or whatever line. There you go. Wild Eye Raw and Extreme line. I have never seen a film by them, but I've heard about them plenty, and I know they release a lot of low budget stuff and definitely hits and misses. But I saw this one at a local film store that I buy used films at, and the cover sold me immediately. So that's Goreface Killer. Both of these are going to be watched in October and reviewed in October, so that'll be for then. That's everything. Thank you for watching What's in the Bag, Son. Still 2 years into this, trying to see what videos perform well, which ones don't. I haven't seen my like showing what I've got throughout the months performing as well as other videos that I've put up on the channel, but it's all a trial and error game. I know some of the videos perform extremely well, and I try to do more of those. And I try to do every video that I want to do, but it fluctuates. Some do awesome, some do shitty. The ones of showing what I've got seem to do on the lower ends of things, but we'll see as they go through. Maybe I'll do less of them and try to focus on other things, but for now I'm just experimenting on what I like to do. I'm going to do more Hammer films. I really like to do franchises, so I like to do like 4 of whatever came out in a franchise, or try to do like trilogies or whatever is in a set of films kind of thing. So I'll try for that, but I just do everything. I review movies on this channel, and I talk about myself and them, and that's what I like to do. So subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for that. Until next review, have a good one, guys. Take care and cheers.